Happy New Year, everyone. We just rang in 2025 and the NFL has just announced the Pro Bowl roster for this concluding season. And just like every year, you've got your usual names, some new names, and maybe some names who perhaps fans would like to see replaced. But just like every year, there's only a select few spots open for Pro Bowl honors, and most of it is fan voting. So who were the Pro Bowl snubs this season? The guys who should have made the Pro Bowl but didn't, and who should have they replaced? Here are the players who got snubbed from this year's Pro Bowl. The first snub we have on this list is Buffalo Bills running back James Cook. If you watched any Buffalo Bills games at all this season, you most likely saw James Cook score a touchdown. He was definitely the Swiss Army knife of that offense this season, and a big piece that MVP favorite Josh Allen was able to trust and lean on. The person that likely was selected over James Cook was Houston Texans running back Joe Mixon. Mixon also had a good year. However, not exactly the same production that James Cook had. But let's compare the stats. In the 2024 NFL season, Joe Mixon has logged 993 rushing yards on 240 attempts and 11 rushing touchdowns. He's also added 35 receptions for 304 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown in the passing game, while James Cook has managed 981 rushing yards on 197 attempts and 15 rushing touchdowns. He's also hauled in 32 receptions for 258 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns through the air. Their stats are no doubt very comparable. They're not too far away from each other, but the big thing that stands out most is the touchdowns. James Cook has 17 total touchdowns on the season to Joe Mixon's 12. Joe Mixon had a great season, especially when you consider the fact that everyone thought he was washed after the Bengals let him go. But we believe James Cook has earned a Pro Bowl roster spot for the AFC side for his 17 touchdown season. Now, there is still week 18 left to go for the NFL season, but in all likelihood, both the Bills and the Texans will rest their starters as their positioning in the playoffs are already clinched. The next player on our list who got snubbed from the Pro Bowl was Miami Dolphins tight end Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith was a solid constant for the Dolphins offense that experienced an extremely bumped road this season. Obviously, with injuries to Tua early in the season, it has been a slightly revolving door at QB this season for the Finns. But one thing's for sure, Jonnu Smith was a stable option in the passing game for each QB who played this season. There are only 2 spots for AFC tight ends, and 1 spot was solidified as Raiders rookie sensation Brock Bowers was a lock for a Pro Bowl invite. But the other tight end that perhaps took Jonnu Smith's roster spot in the Pro Bowl is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce has long time been a weapon in the passing game for Andy Reid and the Chiefs offense, even before Patrick Mahomes became the starter, and even before Kelce became a global icon. But there was no doubt this season was Kelce's worst season in recent memory. He didn't score a touchdown until week 7 this season, and didn't eclipse 100 yards in a game until week 8, which is very uncharacteristic of Kelce's normal production we're used to seeing. And let's take a look at the stats. In the 2024 NFL season, Travis Kelce amassed 97 receptions for 823 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, whereas Jonnu Smith has totaled 79 receptions for 828 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Nearly identical in receiving yards, but as you can see, Jonnu Smith beats out Kelce for touchdowns by more than double. Of course though, Travis Kelce is among the most popular people in the world right now for dating Taylor Swift, and he has the career reputation for premier production at the tight end position. In fact, it was posted on NFL's Instagram page that Travis Kelce received the most amount of votes out of anyone named on the roster. Is that because he's well known, or because of his play on the football field? We'll let you decide. Sorry, Jonnu, but most football fans who watch regularly, they know how much you balled out this season. Our next Pro Bowl snub on the list is a QB who has seen his career revived over the last couple of seasons. That is Tampa Bay QB Baker Mayfield. Baker has been an incredible addition to the Bucs offense since taking over for Tom Brady is no easy task. The Bucs haven't missed much of a step. Obviously, no one is Tom Brady, but I think Bucs fans will tell you they've been pleasantly surprised with Baker Mayfield. Mayfield has seen injuries tear apart his receiving threats a few times throughout the 2024 season, and he's gotten a good sense of production out of rookie running back Bucky Irving. But if you watched any Bucs games, you'll easily spot the consistent play of Baker Mayfield, and his stats show it. There are 3 QB spots available on the Pro Bowl roster for the NFC side. Sam Darnold of the Vikings and Jared Goff of the Lions have been rightfully named among the elite. but the other QB is Commander signal caller Jayden Daniels. Daniels has no doubt shown that he belongs in the NFL. He can run, he can throw, he's tough, and he's led the Commanders to an incredible winning season. But did he do enough to be named a Pro Bowler over Baker Mayfield? Let's take a look at the numbers. At this point late in the 2024 NFL season, Jayden Daniels has completed 325 out of 468 passes for 3,530 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, while throwing 9 interceptions. He's also added 144 rushing attempts for 864 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. A very strong rookie season for a team that the league didn't expect much from. However, Baker Mayfield completed 386 out of 538 passes for 4,279 passing yards, 39 passing touchdowns, while throwing 15 interceptions. He also ran 51 times for 310 yards and scored 3 rushing touchdowns. Similar to the comparison between other snubs on this list, the total yardage is very similar. However, here Baker Mayfield has scored 11 more total touchdowns than Jayden Daniels. We definitely want to acknowledge Jayden Daniels and his incredible rookie season. He's been clutch, but perhaps Baker Mayfield was more deserving of a Pro Bowl invite here along with Sam Darnold and Jared Goff. Perhaps the biggest Pro Bowl snub on this list is Houston Texans defensive end Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter has had an incredible season in his first year with the Texans. He's top 5 in sacks with 12, and he's among the league leaders in QB pressures and pass rush win rate. He's also got 17 tackles for loss. The AFC has 3 roster spots for defensive end. The Cleveland Browns' Myles Garrett is a lock. He's been having another incredible season and is tied for the league lead in sacks at 14. Man he's tied with is the Bengals' Trey Hendrickson. So those two have deserved their roster spot. The third roster spot went to Raiders defensive end Max Crosby. There's an argument that Danielle Hunter got snubbed and should be in the Pro Bowl in place of Max Crosby. Crosby has been a yearly mainstay in the Pro Bowl. Over the last multiple seasons, he's been an absolute menace. Except for this season, he only played in 12 games as he went on the injured reserve list with multiple ankle injuries. The stats between the two are more divided than any other on this list, we'd say. Max Crosby has totaled 7.5 sacks and 20 QB hits, while Danielle Hunter has recorded 12 sacks and 23 QB hits. Crosby has the same amount of QB hits as Hunter in 4 less games played, so perhaps that's where the voters are getting their reasoning. However, Crosby is on injured reserve, so that should hold value when considering voting eligibility. To be amongst the top in the league in sacks and pressures and not make the Pro Bowl has got to be a tough pill to swallow for Hunter. Now, we all know the Pro Bowl isn't what it used to be. Today, the Pro Bowl resembles something elementary school kids would do for Friday fun, or any random activity. But as we all know, a lot of Pro Bowl alternatives end up getting invited to join in on the festivities since many other stars opt out for various reasons, or they make it to the Super Bowl. As we all know, the players who make it to the Super Bowl don't go to the Pro Bowl, and there will be alternatives filling their position. A lot of guys say they won't care about the Pro Bowl, but of course, for some of these guys, being named a Pro Bowler may give them performance incentives on their contracts. So many of the snubs we spoke about in this video will get a shot to go to the Pro Bowl after all, or they will just remain snubs. So those are 4 of the biggest Pro Bowl snubs for this NFL season. Who do you think also deserved an invite? And who do you think shouldn't have gotten a Pro Bowl nod? Let us know in the comments. And if you're interested in NFL content similar to this video, head over to the channel and check out our other videos and subscribe for future content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.